Once upon a time, in the quaint little town of Timbrook, there stood an old cobblestone cottage at the very edge of the Whispering Woods. This cottage was unlike any other place in town because it was the home of a friendly ghost named Glimm. Glimm was as radiant as moonlight and had a heart as warm as a summer breeze. Though he was a ghost, Glimm often felt lonely, for the townsfolk were afraid of his ghostly glow. One crisp autumn evening, when the leaves painted the forest floor in shades of gold and red, Glimm decided to take a quiet stroll through the woods. As he drifted along the winding path, he heard a faint rustling in the pile of leaves nearby. Curious, as ghosts often are, Glimm gently floated towards the sound. Much to his surprise, he found two tiny mice named Nibble and Noodle. They were so small that their noses barely poked out from beneath the leaves. As the little mice shivered with cold, Glimm's heart filled with compassion. "Oh dear, are you two all right?" Glimm's voice was as soft as mist. Nibble, the braver of the two, spoke up. "We're lost. We wandered too far from our burrow, and now the cold night is setting in." "Oh, how dreadful!" exclaimed Glimm. "Please come with me to my cottage. It's warm and snug there." Without hesitation, Nibble and Noodle hopped onto Glimm's glow. As they floated together towards the cottage, Glimm promised, "I'll help you find your way home tomorrow." Back at the cottage, Glimm lit up the cozy little room with his glow. He conjured a soft, fluffy bed out of a bundle of wool for his tiny friends. The mice nestled into it comfortably, and Glimm wrapped his warm light around them like a comforting blanket. "Thank you, dear Glimm," Noodle squeaked, feeling safe for the first time since getting lost. As the night wore on, the mice shared tales of their adventures, and Glimm listened with keen interest. But when the clock struck midnight, Nibble and Noodle found themselves too sleepy to keep their eyes open. The next morning, with the sun casting its golden rays through the windows, Glimm and his tiny friends set out on their quest. They retraced the mice's tiny footsteps until they found the little burrow nestled under an ancient oak tree in the woods. With tearful goodbyes, Nibble and Noodle hugged Glimm's wispy figure. "We'll never forget our magical friend," Nibble said, whiskers twitching with gratitude. From that day on, Nibble and Noodle often came to visit Glimm, and the ghost was never lonely again. The townsfolk soon learned of the ghost's kind nature, and Glimm's cottage became a place where whispers of friendship echoed through the walls. And so, Glimm, Nibble, and Noodle lived happily ever after, proving that kindness has the power to create lasting bonds, even in the spookiest of places.